Good day, everyone. My name is Jonathan G. Tudyo. This is 4A. Our subject for today is solid mensuration. So this is my topic, prismatoid. So prismatoid is a polyhedron, all of whose vertices lie into parallel planes. So this is the figure. So the volume of prismatoid equals the product of 1/6 the altitude by the sum of the upper base and the lower base and the 4 times midsection. So the height is the addition of upper base and lower base, and then mid station is times by 4. The formula of prismatoid is to solve the volume is volume equals the height over 6 times b. Small b is stand for upper base. The letter uh, b na capital is stand for lower base. Then the mid M is stand for mid section times by 4. So this is the Newdal formula. So by the volume of OEFG, the formula is height times upper base over B, 6. Then the volume of OEBC, this is the lower base, is equals to height times capital letter B over 6. The volume of OECGC is divided into two parts by the midsection. Since RS joins midsection midpoints of the two sides of EGC, so OCEG is equals to 4 times OCRS is equals to 4 times height over 6 times ORS is equals to 2/3 times height times ORS. So let's get sample. So sample number 1. The earth excavated for the canal. The depth of the canal is 4 meter deep at one end and the 5 meter deep at the other end, and the length is 50 meters. So the volume. So this is the first, the other side deep the 4 meters, the 4 meters height, then the other side is 5 meters. So this is the area 1, area 2, and area mid station area. So first we will solve for the x. So x equals 10 plus 8 divided by 2 is equals to 9. So height is equals to 4 plus 5 divided by 2 equals 4.5. So this is the height, 4.5. So next is area 1. Area 1 is equals to 8 plus 6 times 4 divided by 2. So count Q 8 plus 6 times 4 divided by 2. So 28 meter squared. So area 2 is equals to 6 plus 10 times 5 over 2. So 5 equals to 40. There. So area M, middle area, is equals to 6 plus 9 times 4.5. divided by 2 is equals to 6 plus 9 times 4.5 divided by 2, 23.75 meters squared. So find the volume of this canal. So volume equals the L over 6 times B plus B plus 4 M. So the length is 50. So 50 over 6 times the upper base is 28 plus the lower base is 40 plus the middle is 4 times 375 is equals to 50 over 6 40 plus 4 times 25. Answer is 1691.67 meter squared. So, cylindrical surfaces and cylinders. So, the cylindrical surfaces is a surface generated by a moving straight line generator. So, this is the straight line. Then, which is always parallel to its first position. So, always parallel. Then, which always intersect a fixed plane curve. So, directrix, not in the plane of the line. So, makita na to sa sa draw. This is the moving element, moving line, moving straight line. Then mo na gitawag nito nga cylindrical surface kung close. So, ang tawag nila is closed cylindrical surface. Then cylinder. So, a cylinder is a solid bounded by a closed cylindrical surface and a parallel plane. So, this is the one diagram. So, notation B is the stand for area of either base. So, bisag asa nga base. Then E is element. The H is altitude. This is the height. Sometimes width. Then K is area of right section. P is perimeter. Then S is the lateral area. Then T is total area. Then B is volume. So in cylinder we have a formula. So S equals PE. So P stand for the perimeter times the element. Then the total area is 2 times the base. 2 base means upper and lower base. Then plus S is the lateral area. Then the volume is base times height, or the element times the area of right section. Example of cylindrical surfaces. So problem 1. Find the total surface area of a cylinder whose radius is 5 cm and height is 7 cm. So in this problem we have given value. The radius R is 5 cm, the height is 7 cm, and the unknown is the total surface area. So to solve the total surface area, we have the formula of TSE equals 2 pi R times height plus radius. So 2 times the equivalent value of pi is 3.14 times the r is 5 times height is 7 plus 5. So the 2 times 3.14 times 5 is equals to 31.4 times 7 plus 5 is 12. So 31.4 times 12 is equals to 376.8 centimeter squared. So this is the total surface of the cylinder. Example of cylinder. The depth of water in a cylinder tank is 8 feet. Suppose the radius and height of the tank are 5 feet and 11.5 feet respectively. Find the volume of water required to fill the tank to the brim. So we have a given radius is 5 feet, height is 11.5 feet. So first we'll find the volume of the cylinder. So volume equals pi r squared times height. So pi is 3.14 times 5 squared times 11.5 feet. So equals 902.75 cubic feet. Cubic feet. Then we will find the volume of water in the tank. So volume of water, we have 3.14 times 5 squared. So the volume of water, the depth of water in the cylinder is 8. So 3 times 25 times 3.14 times 8 is equals to 620 cubic feet. Then to find the volume of water required to fill the tank, we will minus the volume of the cylinder to the volume of water. So volume required 902.75 minus 628 cubic is equals to 274.75 cubic feet. So this is the volume that required to fill the tank to the brim. So circular cylinder. So a circular cylinder is a cylinder which has a circular right section. So in this drawing, so in this is this part is the right section. This line is in a circle. So in this part, this is the right section. So in this part, this is the lateral surface or unrolled. So this is the element. Then notation. So B stands for the area and base or upper or lower. So E is element, H is lateral area, the H is altitude or the height. So this is T is total area, K is radius of a right section, capital letter K is area of right section, and B is volume. So formula of cylinder, circular cylinder is S is equals to pi KE, or this is the lateral area of a circular cylinder is equal to the product of the perimeter of a right section and element. So that total is equals to S plus 2B. So this is the total area of circular cylinder is equals to the sum of its lateral area and its area of its base. So this volume is equals to KE equals to pi k squared E equals base times height. This is the volume of a circular cylinder is equals to the product of either a right section and an element or the base and the altitude. Right circular cylinder. So right circular cylinder is a cylinder whose elements are perpendicular to its base and whose bases are circle. So the axis of a right circular cylinder is the line joining the center of the bases. Then a right circular cylinder may be generated by the revolution of a rectangular about one side as an axis and is therefore also called a cylinder of revolution. So 3. The center of any section of a right circular cylinder parallel to the base is on the axis. So any elements of a right circular cylinder is equals to its altitude. So equals siya sa height. Then every section of a right circular cylinder made by a plane containing an element is a rectangle. So notation, C is stand for circumference of base, H is the altitude, R is radius of base, then S is lateral area, T is total area, then B is volume. So formulas of right circular cylinder. So the S equals to pi r, H is the lateral area of the right circular cylinder, is the product of its altitude and the circumference of its base. Then the T equals 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. This is the total area of right circular cylinder is equals to the sum of its upper and lower bases plus its lateral area. So the volume is pi r squared times height. So the volume of a right circular cylinder is the product of area of the base and its altitude. Example of right circular cylinder. Number 1. Find the volume of a right cylinder if the radius and height of the cylinder are 20 cm and 30 cm respectively. So we have the given radius 20 cm and height 30 cm. So find the volume. So the formula of volume to find volume is volume equals pi r squared times height. So yeah, only substitute the value. So volume equals pi times radius is 20 squared times the height is 30. So shift alpha at 3.14 times 20 squared times 30. So the answer is 37680. 37680 cubic centimeter. So this is the volume of a right circular cylinder. So conical surfaces and cones. Definition: a conical surface is generated by a moving straight line. So moving straight line mo na ang iyang generator. So kani mo ni siya kini nga line, diri nga line mo na siya ang generator. So which always intersects apex plane curve, so direct tracks. So mo ni dire ang galing iya direct track. So and always passes through apex point, so vertex not in the plane of the curve. So an element of a conical surface is the generator in any particular position. So means the
the elements of the conical surfaces kay mag-generate in any particular position. So a cone is the solid bounded by a conical surface, lateral surface whose directrix is close curve, and a plane. So plane is the base. This is base, which cuts all the elements. Then the altitude of a cone is the length of the perpendicular drop from the vertex to the plane of the base. So, or every section of a cone made by a plane passing through its vertex is a triangle. So makita nato sa kuan nga triangle iyang forma. Then a circular cone is a cone whose base is a circle. So plus like sa apa kang sa ice cream, di ba? Iya kuan base is circle, or like in sa mine volcano. So every section of a circular cone made by a plane parallel to the base is a circle. So if a pyramid whose base is rectangular polygon is inscribed in a circumscribed about a circular cone, and if the number of sides of the base of the pyramid is indefinitely increased, the volume of the cone is the limit of the volume of the pyramid, and the lateral area of the cone is the limit of the lateral area of the pyramid. So any line, not an element. So siyempre ang element kay makita nato line man na siya gyapon nga mag-move. Line siya nga. Then any line not an element tangent to any curve on a conical surface is tangent to the surface. So a plane is tangent to a conical surface if it contains an element of the conical surface and a line tangent to the surfaces. If the number of lateral faces of a pyramid becomes infinite, the pyramid becomes a cone. The volume of any cone is equal to 1/3 of the product of the base and the altitude. So the volume kuno of any kind of any cone kuno kay equals sa 1/3 times base and height. So right circular cone. So a right circular cone is a cone whose base is a circle and whose axis is perpendicular to its base. So the axis of the right circular cone is line joining the vertex with the center of the base. So a right circular cone is a solid generated by rotating a right triangle, one of its legs as an axis. The surface generated by hypotenuse of the triangle is the lateral area of the cone, and the area of the base of the cone is the surface generated by the leg, which is not the axis of rotation. The altitude of a right circular cone passes through the center of the circle, which form its base. So the slant height of a right circular cone is the length of an element. So all elements of a right circular cone are equal. So all element is equal. A section of a right circular cone parallel to the base is a circle whose center is the axis of the cone. A section of a right circular cone which contains the vertex is an isosceles triangle. So notation: B stand for base of area of base. So C is the circumference of base, H is the altitude, L is length height, Then R is radius, S is lateral area, T is total area, then V is volume. So formula of right circular cone. S stand for lateral area is equals to 1 half times C times slant height is equals to pi r. L is equals pi r square root of height squared, altitude squared plus radius squared. So the lateral this is the lateral area of a circular cone is equal to 1 half the product of circumference of the base and the slant height. So T, this is the total area. T is S plus B, the lateral area plus base equals to pi RL plus R pi R squared equals pi R times I plus R is equals to pi R times R plus square root of R squared plus H squared. So this is the total area of the right circular cone, the equal to the sum of the lateral area and the area of the base. So volume, so the volume of a right circular cone is equal to 1/3 the product of the base and the altitude. So 1/3 times base times height or equals to 1 half pi r squared times height.
Example of conical surfaces and cone. So problem 1. Calculate the lateral surface area of a cone whose radius is 5 meter and slant height is 20 meter. So this is 20 meter. So given is radius is 5 meter, then the height is 20 meter. So the lateral surface area of a cone is pi rl. So this is a simple problem because all you need to do is to substitute the given. So pi times 5 times 20. So the equivalent value of pi is 3.14. So 3.14 times 5 times 20. So the answer is 3.14. 314 meter squared. So this is the lateral surface area of a cone. So example of a right circular cone. So problem 1. The volume of a solid right circular cone is 11,088 cubic centimeter. If its height is 24 centimeters, then find the radius of the cone. So in this problem, we will find the radius. So with the given value, the volume is 11,088 centimeter cube. So the height is 24 centimeter. So the formula of cubic centimeter to of right circular cone is volume 1/3 times pi r squared times height. So this problem, the value of volume is 11,088 cubic centimeter, then times 1/3, then the equivalent value of pi is 3.14 times radius squared. The height is 24 centimeter. So with radius squared equals 0.88 over 1/3 times 3.14 times 24 centimeter. So 11,088 over 1/3.
0.088 1 third times 3.14 times 24. So it's 441. 441.40 12 7 2 739. Reduce squared, so square root cancel out, so reduce is equals to, so square root of 441.40 12 7 39 equals to, so the square root of 441.40 12 7 39 is equals to 21.009559519 centimeter, or radius is equals to 21 centimeter. So this is the radius of a right circular cone. So frustum of a right circular cone. The frustum of a right circular cone is that portion of a right circular cone included between the base and a section. So the altitude of a frustum of a right circular cone is the perpendicular distance between two base. So tunga siya sa duha ka base, the upper and the lower, na naka perpendicular between sa lower and upper. Then all of the elements of a frustum of right circular cone are equal, so equal iyang element. So notation, so B, small b is stand for upper base area, capital letter B is the lower base, small letter c is the circumference of upper base, and big letter C is the circumference of lower base. H is the altitude, L is the slant height, R is radius, big letter R, capital letter R is radius of lower base, then small letter r is radius of upper base. So S is lateral area, then B is volume. So formula of frustum of a right circular cone. The formula of lateral area of a frustum of a right circular cone is equal to 1/2 the sum of the circumferences of the bases multiplied by the slant height. This is S equals 1/2 times L times small letter c plus big capital letter C is, or equals to 1/2 L times 2 pi r plus 2 pi big letter r, or equals to pi times small letter r plus capital letter R times L. So the total area of the frustum of a right circular cone is equals to the sum of the areas of the bases and the lateral area. So that is the formula. This is the T is equals to pi r squared plus pi capital letter R squared plus S, or equals to pi r times R plus L plus pi r times R plus L. So the volume of a right circular of a frustum of a right circular cone is equals to the 1/3 of the product of the altitude and the sum of the upper base and the lower base and the mean proportional between the two bases. This is equal to B equals 1/3 times h the altitude times small letter b capital letter B plus square root of b times capital letter B, or equals to pi over 3 times altitude times r squared plus big letter R squared plus R times R. So this is the frustum formula. So example of frustum of right circular cone. So
Problem 1. The slant height of a frustum of a cone is 5 cm and the radii of each ends are 4 cm and 1 cm. So find each curved surface area. So we have the given value. The height is 5 cm, the R is 4 cm, radius is 1 cm. So the unknown is the curved surface area. So the formula to find to solve the core surface area is equals to pi times R plus R times the L. So equivalent value of R is 3.14. The R is 4 plus the radius is 1. The L is 5. So 3.14 times 4 plus 1 times 5. Sip. So 3.14 times 4 plus 1 times 5. So the answer is 78.5 meters squared. So this is the curved surface area of the frustum of a cone.